the 5 best fantasy movies of all time. Here is Screen Rant's take on the 5 best fantasy movies of all time. Number 1. Conclusion. So, how did we do? And more importantly, how do you think Warcraft is going to stack up in relation to these films when all is said and done? These lists are always highly subjective, as films resonate with different people in different ways. That doesn't mean that anyone is wrong if you don't agree, or your list isn't exactly the same as this one. Number 2. Lord of the Rings. Many said that J.R.R. Tolkien's masterful work could never be adapted for the screen. It was just too big and too unwieldy for anyone to really capture the essence of the story in the form of a film. A few tried, but without any real success. Of course, everything changed when Peter Jackson decided to tackle the project, choosing to make 3 films, each roughly encompassing one of the 3 volumes in the original book. Filmed over 438 days in New Zealand, the saga stars Elijah Wood, Shauna Stinn, Viggo Mortensen, Carl Urban, Andy Serkis, Liv Tyler, Hugo Weaving, and Ian McKellen. Like J.R.R. Tolkien, we're counting this as a single film which contains 3 separate volumes, each building on the last. The Lord of the Rings is the pinnacle of the fantasy genre for a reason, as it encompassed everything required. An epic quest, a magical sword, beastly foes, magic, betrayal, and redemption. But it's so much more than that. It's also interesting, fallible characters, lush scenery, and a story full of heart. There's a reason that it tallied 17 Academy Awards in all, and it's going to take something truly special to knock it out of the number 1 spot anytime soon. Number 3. Harry Potter film series. The story of the boy who lived is one that just about everyone knows. Based on the books by J.K. Rowling, the film series follows the life and times of Harry Potter, the only person who ever survived an encounter with the evil wizard Voldemort as he tries to navigate not only a new school but also the newly magical world he's thrust into on his 11th birthday. The film starred newcomers Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint amongst a litany of talented character actors. Okay, so this one's cheating a bit, as we're including the entire film lineup in this entry. It's not that we all don't have our favorite Harry Potter film. Results may vary, depending on who you ask. It's just that it feels wrong to not count the entire story arc as whole. The film seamlessly blended a mundane reality with J.K. Rowling's magical one, creating one of the most beautiful and well-fleshed-out fantasy worlds ever. The people, the places, the things all feel like they are just around the corner, if only you just open your eyes to them. This world is so incredibly immersive that they've built theme parks based on it, and there are plenty of people around the world who are still waiting for their Hogwarts letter to arrive. Number 4. Pan's Labyrinth. This 2006 Spanish-Mexican film was directed by Guillermo del Toro and stars Ivana Baquero, Sergi Lopez, Maribel Verdú, and Doug Jones. It tells the story of Ophelia, a little girl who must complete 3 magical quests in order to regain her immortality and once again become Princess Mona, ruler of the underworld. No one can deny that Del Toro is a visual master when it comes to filmmaking, and this film is one of the reasons why. Lush and bursting, the film uses very little CGI, instead relying on animatronics and makeup. This gives it a grim yet spellbinding feel, sucking the viewer into the world along with Ophelia. Unlike a lot of fantasy worlds on this list, the one depicted here isn't necessarily all sunshine and rainbows, but it's that darkness that makes it that much more memorable. Number 5. The Dark Crystal. This 1982 film by Henson Associates, directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, tells the story of the Gelfling, Jen, and his quest to restore balance to his fractured world by replacing the missing shard in the Dark Crystal. The film has no people in it, with the exception of stand-ins, and is instead comprised completely of puppets and animatronics, the latter of which was considered groundbreaking for its time. This film is considered one of the darkest things to come out of the Henson studio. The tone and majority of visuals in the film striking and stark in contrast to their other works. What makes this film so special and unique is the rich, immersive world that they were able to create, and the fact that you care about what happens to these characters. It doesn't matter that they are puppets, and the world is make-believe and almost dreamlike. What are some of your favorite fantasy films? What did we miss? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to our channel to see more videos by